I still can't believe I found a Potosi. Hi, this is Carrie with Sunshine Vintage Vibes, and I am back to talk about my top sellers for 2025 and my goals for 2026 for my shop. I am a vintage home decor reseller. In 2025, I only had a shop on Etsy, and it's 6 months of sales. So I started my shop in June, but like at the mid-June, and I only had one sale in June. So really it was 6 months of sales. And talk about like top selling categories, my actual like items, top sellers, and then my wish list and all of my goals for my shop for 2026. So gonna put up some photos here of my top sellers. So my top selling category was brass, which was really surprising. I mean, I knew I sold brass and I would pick up brass, but it wasn't, I would never, if somebody had asked me what my top seller, I don't think I would have said brass. So brass was my top seller. So it was everything. So you'll see there's like candlesticks and figurines and all sorts of like things that were brass. So I had 30, I have my notes here because I won't remember everything. I had 33 items that sold. So that's 6 months. Last year in my shop were brass. 33 items is my top selling category is brass. Now my second one is also surprising, which is art or wall hanging. So I kind of grouped that together in my own shop. I put art, wall hangings all together, anything that can be up on a wall. Now, the only thing I don't include in that is baskets, because there are baskets that you can hang on a wall. I don't include that. That's in their own separate category. So I had 25 items that I would consider art that sold in my shop. So here are some things that I sold. So I sold like, of course, like paintings, and I had some embroidery. I also had like these Florentine like wall hangings, and I think I had a couple of ceramic pieces that sold. So 25 items of art, which I was really happy about that because I love picking up art. It's such a fun thing to pick up. So art is my number 2 selling category. Now my number 3 is tied. So I'm putting them, I'm using number 3. I'm going to have 2 different categories. So boxes is one. I sold 21 items, 21 boxes. And then the other one is candlesticks, candle related items like snuffers. So I had 21 in each category. So boxes, if you've watched my other videos, you know I picked up like 19 Limoges boxes. So there are 4 Limoges boxes I sold last year that are included in the boxes, but we're talking like wood boxes. I had a couple of ceramic boxes. You'll see all the different kind of boxes that I sold, and I sold 21 boxes last year. The candlestick, so I've sold like candle holders. I've also sold, like I had 6, like a grouping of 6, but I sold them separately. I did not group them together. So I am counting those individually because they were priced individually. If they're a pair of candlesticks, that's one item. But if there are, like if I think those brass candles were $25 each, then I am counting those as one. So 21 of those. I also sold, I think like 3 candle snuffers, and I actually sold a set of candles. So that's in there as well. So 21 items. So that tied with boxes for my 3rd top selling category. So my 4th top selling category, which I thought was higher, is copper. So I had 19 items of copper that sold. And you'll see, like I had scales, I had bowls, I had pots, pans, plates. So I sold a lot of copper. I love picking up copper. I like personally, I like copper more than I like brass. No other reason, just I like the look of it. Has nothing to do with sales, price, nothing. I like copper. So I tend to pick up copper, but 19 copper pieces. And then my last item, it's office sort of decor. So what that includes is like bookends, books. I also sold like some calendars, any sort of item that you would think in the office. I know books aren't really an item that would go, like, books can be, of course, their own category, but I did not have that many books in my shop. I have since been picking up books. I love books. So again, like copper, I'll just pick it up because I love it. But I didn't have a ton. So there's like in that, how many did I say? I don't think I told you, 14. So I sold 14 office sort of decor items. I have those wood bookends. I've sold several bookends and the book racks, books, and then some like calendar office decor, like vintage office decor. So, and as I pick those up, those sell. So those are my top 5 categories. So number 1 was brass, 2 was art or wall hangings, 3 is tied. I have boxes and candles sort of, stuff that goes with candles like snuffers. Copper's number 4, and then office sort of decor is my number 5. Now we're going to go into my top selling item. Top selling items. So my number 1 and 2 items, my top sellers last year was, of course, the Limoges boxes. I sold one for $448 and one for $428. And when I bought those, I took the $400 that I spent for them and I just gave all of them, I put them in my Excel spreadsheet and I gave all of them a value. So the $448, I had given a value of $20, which obviously is insane. And then the other one at $428, I gave a value of $30. So you can see the profit. So what are we at? $428 and $398. So those were my top selling items. My number 2, so really it's number 3, right? There's a few, so hang in there, is the Potosi. I still can't believe I found a Potosi. I have only seen in person since I knew what a Potosi was. I've only seen one, and I've been to antique malls. I've been to Long Beach, antique fairs. I've only seen one, and it was the one I bought. And it just happened to be at an estate sale, 50% off day. I got it for $7.50. It sold within days. I sold it for $350, but I bought it for $7.50. So profit was $341. So that's my number 3, like top seller. My number 4 and 5 are the Limoges boxes. So I sold one for $248 and I gave that one a value of $40, which is just, again, they were just random. I thought I had done some research, but obviously I didn't dig deep enough. So that's a profit of, what was that, $208. And then the 4th one was $198. So that's a value of $168. Now moving off of Limoges and my Potosi, I sold 2 Rookwood bowls. I picked these up at an estate sale. I got them for $5 each because I got a whole bundle of stuff for like $50. Now when I go to estate sales, I remember being at that estate sale, not knowing. It was in the summer. I was still learning. I'm always learning. I'm still learning, but I was really like fresh. I didn't even know what Rookwood was. And so I loved the colors. So you can see I love the colors. So I just picked them up. $5 each. I sold one for $185 and one for $145. So $180 and $140 is the profit. The next is this Glen Heath owl. So I picked this up at the Torrance Antique Fair. I picked it up for $5. It sold for $140. And so I did adjust the price because my measurements weren't correct when the buyer bought it. So it was a little bit less than this because I did do an adjustment for her. But I was fine with that because, again, I got it for $5. So now every single time I go to an estate sale or thrift store or anywhere and I see an owl that kind of looks like it, I will, my first thing is pick it up and see if it's a Glen Heath. I'm wanting to find another Glen Heath owl. So my next item that my personal shop items was this copper pan. So I picked this up when I was up in Monterey. Picked it up at a thrift store for $10. It's a French pan. It sold for $120. So that's $110 profit on that. The next is this curio cabinet. Picked it up at a garage sale for $3. It sold for $98. Now I could have sold this for more. I didn't realize how, like, what a commodity these are, or you still are. Like, so I could have sold this for more. I didn't know. This is a lesson you learn. And so I had a prop, but I only paid $3. So I had a good profit of that. Then these shelves I picked up when I was up in Camarillo. I picked these up I was with my mom and my younger sister. I picked them up for $12 and I sold them for $138. So when I came home and I did research, my mom was actually with me and she's like, those are really nice. You should pick those up. And the crazy thing is I was like, $12 seems like a lot. And when I came back, I did some research. There was some marking on it. It was by the Curiosity Shop. They have quite a bit of value. They sold for $138. So now I'm like, again, like this is how you learn. And then my last item was, I picked this up in the summer, picked it up from a Goodwill, $9.99. And it was one of kind of my first items that I picked up that had like a lot of value. So I'm going to put a picture of the bottom so that you can see the stickers on the bottom. So it didn't say Toyo, but it had all the Japanese stickers. I ended up selling it for $98. I bought it for $9.99. I sold it for $98. I was over the moon because it was my biggest sale, like the first 3-4 months of my shop. And then of course I found a Batosi, which is great. And then the Limoges boxes. Like, it's just, that is my favorite part when you're out thrifting, is to find something like that, and it helps me learn, like the Rookwood. So those are my shop's top finds. So here is my wish list for 2026 for my shop. So I hope to get more of the Salmon Falls or any sort of stoneware. I really like it. I'm so drawn to it. So I hope to find more of that. I hope to find more of these peg racks. I've had 3 in my shop. They've sold quick. I hope to pick up some more peg racks. This is the Glen Heath owl. I hope to see, I told you I'm gonna find another one. I am on a hunt to find another one. Sorry, my picture's here. Definitely more mini art. I picked up that little tiny one in Long Beach. So any kind of small art, any kind of art, because art was my number 2 seller. So I got to pick up art. This, that all that blue is Batosi. I am determined to find another Batosi. That was just so fun. So I hope to find another one. Cutting boards sell for me. I think I've had 4 in my shop, all 4 sold. I've picked up some recently, so we'll see, a little bit bigger, so we'll see if those sell. I do love these tumblers and they do sell. So I'm always looking for color. I have so much brown and copper and brass in my shop that I really want color. And you can kind of see it has a color here. More office decor, any sort of office decor I want to pick up. More these Fiesta Salt and Pepper. I picked one up, it sold fast. Then I picked up another one. I think my first set was turquoise, my second set was orange, and then I just picked up a blue pair and a yellow pair. So I'm already working off the list. And the reason why is, so I was watching a reseller, the Bearded Thrifter, I think that's his name, the Bearded Thrifter, and he was saying, I do follow him and he's got some good advice. He's been doing this a long time. He does say that you have to be in the business of selling, not just buying. So to me, I have to make sure that I'm getting items that sold. Now, I only have 6 months of statistics of what I know sells for me. So I have to go off of at least some of that being items that will resell. So, and I know those Fiesta Salt and Peppers, they don't sell for a lot. I think they're $25, but if I get them for a few dollars, even up to $5, that's a sale and I know it's going to sell. Same with copper pans. All of my copper pans and pots, especially French, have sold quick. So I'm always on the hunt for copper. So this is my 2026 Sunshine Vintage Vibes wish list. So I am really into the stoneware and the Salmon Falls, the blueberry. Well, Salmon Falls makes ornaments. So I am dying to thrift a Salmon Falls ornament. Now, I could get online, I can get on eBay and I could order one and people are selling them and I could have one, and everything in this I could go get for the most part. So, but that's not thrifting and that's not the thrill of the hunt. To me, that's thrifting and finding it. for me. Now, if it's at an estate sale and I see the pictures, that's still thrifting because you got to get in there and you got to get it. So I really would love this year to find a salmon falls ornament for myself. Now here, I'll just quickly go through them. So I've always wanted this little yellow phone. I've seen pink ones. If I find a pink one or maybe like a bright blue one, I would pick it up. I don't know. Yellow's my color, so it'd be fun to find a phone. I love this clock. I have a rule in my shop now, no clocks, no lamps. I've had too many issues with them. But I would love this clock for me. The pink pop Elvis, I have the other ones, but the pink ones with the pink is, they're really collectible. So someday I'm going to find, they're like number 2 and number 3. I'm going to find some like vintage, really old, original pop of Elvis. Now I sold that strawberry melamine plate. It's one of the only items I've sold that I kind of regret. And I hope to find it again. And if I do, I'm keeping it. I sold it. I love these turquoise mixing bowls. I have the like clear mixing bowls, and I would love to switch out all those clear ones and have like some really fun color mixing bowls. So they don't have to be turquoise. I would be okay with pink, even orange. But I want to thrift them. I went to an estate sale on my birthday. They had some turquoise on the pictures. When I got there, somebody had cleaned them out. I was so sad. That was going to be the birthday present to myself, was that turquoise Pyrex mixing bowl, and somebody already bought it. So that's on my list. I absolutely love these little like cat tumblers. I hope to find those. So I love that cat. I think the cat's really cool. My undergrad, I went to the University of Arizona. I just bought my daughter, who goes to Tulane, a vintage Tulane pennant. I am looking for a University of Arizona one. I actually saw one years ago in Temecula at the antique mall. I want to say it was like $50, and I didn't buy it. And boy, I even went back maybe a week later and it was gone. Oh, I regret it. So hope to find that as well. So that is my personal, and of course Elvis, always Elvis, but that's my own personal wish list. So it's just kind of fun. It was fun to kind of go through and see like what I would keep and not sell. I mean, it's gonna be hard sometimes to buy these things and then not sell them, especially good stuff. This is my wish list. At the end of the year, we'll see what I got. My goal is to sell. So that has to be my number one goal. And so my main goal is really, it comes down to profit. I was debating like how many items, but really it needs to be about my profit. So I had such a great December, and it was such a nice, it was nice to see that I could have that momentum. Yes, I know it's the holidays. So right now, my main goal is a profit of my shop of $3,000 a month. Now I think I hit almost, it was like 31.77 in December profit. Now that's cost minus cost of goods sold and Etsy fees. So the only thing not including in those, I'll put it here so you can see. I did do the numbers when I did my what sold in December, just so you can see. So my goal is $3,000 a month, but that's like a short-term goal, and I want to increase that every quarter. So my first quarter will be $3,000 a month. Second quarter, $3,500. Third quarter, $4,500, and then fifth quarter is $5,000. Because that, if I could start making $5,000 a month profit, not sales, but profit minus shipping costs, Etsy fees, all of that, I could really make this a business. So that's my main goal. That's my goal. Then the next question is how? How am I going to get there? So I have shop goals and I have marketing goals. So this is my shop goals. I really like dug in here. So my shop goals are, I want to start cross-listing. So I don't know if you cross-list. And what I mean by that is, do you list on Etsy and eBay and Facebook and Poshmark and Macar? Do you list on other platforms? So I've only listed on Etsy. I've used Facebook Marketplace for myself when I'm selling things around the home, large items to get rid of. I've used Poshmark in the past for clothing. I've done eBay for my son had some like comic book stuff that wasn't vintage, so I put some stuff on there. And I've used eBay forever because I've been buying on eBay for a long time. So my first goal is I want to start cross-listing. So I did sign up for, it's called Flip, FLYP, and I researched some of them. So far it's been great. I signed up. I'm gonna put it here. I don't recall how many months I got free. So I think it's like the first 3 months is free, and then it's, you start paying a monthly fee. So it's really nice to have that to see if it's working. So I'll tell you right now what I love about it. It's really easy. So I import all my listings from Etsy, or you can import as many as you want or whatever you want. And then you connect your other platforms to it, and then you can cross list, but you have to make changes. So I've done that. So that was one of my goals for 2026, is to start cross listing. So I've already signed up for Flip. I have cross listed. So with eBay, you can list up to 250 items without incurring a listing fee. So right now, that's what I'm going to do just to see if it has momentum. So 250 items. I think I have right now about 210. I've only sold 2 items. That's okay. And I know eBay, just like Etsy, has algorithms, and it takes time to get that momentum for your shop to be seen and all of that. I have no other experience except so far with this Flip. And so far it's been great, super user friendly. And when it sells on Etsy, it delists it from eBay. So I don't have to like go in and search, and it updates and all of that. So that's been great. So that was my number one, like, how am I going to achieve this goal? And my number one is to start cross-listing. So my second goal, my number one, was to cross-list, which I've already done. So check, feeling like I've already checked number one off the list. So number two is I have got to start, I have to give myself 1 week to get everything up on my shop. So for my birthday, and I got 64 items on my birthday. I still haven't been able to get through it all. It was so much. Then I went like later, and then I went with my sisters and mom to Long Beach. I have so much stuff, and it's just too much. And it's Tuesday, and I want to go thrift, and I won't allow myself to go. So I've now made myself a goal that I'm giving myself 1 week to get everything up on my shop. So that means cleaned, photographed, hauled, and listed, and up on my shop and in my inventory, so that nothing is sitting, because if it's sitting, it's not selling. And I'm in the business of selling, so it's gotta be up. So I'm giving myself 1 week. And then within that rule, I am not allowing myself to thrift unless if I have inventory at home. So if I have inventory at home that has not been listed, I cannot thrift. So today is Tuesday that I'm filming this, and Tuesday's the day I go to Savers and Goodwill, because I get a discount as a senior, 55 plus, here where I am. And that's the day I like to go out because I get a discount. But I can't go because I have too much inventory that has been sitting, and just I've been slowly getting through it, but not fast enough. So I'm giving myself, that's my rule, 1 week. And sometimes, like my birthday, I picked up 64 items on my birthday. I went to an estate sale and got 54 items. It was crazy how much I picked up. So that's insane. I don't even need to thrift, right? So I don't even have to thrift for like 3 months because I have so much just from that one haul. But my goal is 1 week to get through my inventory. And if like I pick up something like that where it's just so much, then it's okay if it takes me a little longer, but no thrifting, no more new inventory until I get all of this up. That's number 2, is try to get everything up within a week. And then I think it was right before Christmas, I wasn't thrifting that much in December, and I had almost everything in my shop was like photographed, hauled, and up. And there was sort of a relief to that. Otherwise, it feels like it's like piling up. And I don't ever want this to feel that way. I want it to feel like easy and fun and exciting. So I don't want to feel like it's work, because so far it doesn't feel like that work. But when I have so much and I'm not getting it done, it feels like work. Okay, moving on. Number 3, I want to photograph all my old inventory. So what I've been doing, I'm starting to use a new surface. I use this white stone surface. My old listings have this like metal surface. So what I've been doing is, when you go to your Etsy account, you can like on your active listings, you can sort it. So I sort it by what's expiring the soonest. And then I can see, so it hasn't renewed yet. And I can see what's going to be renewing. And a lot of them are on those old services. So the easiest way for me to photograph all this old inventory, my first thought was I will pull all the inventory out that needs to be photographed, photograph it all, and then put it back in. It seemed way too overwhelming. So I came up with a better plan that's a little more manageable. So on Etsy, you can sort your listing. So when I go to the actives, I'll sort it by what's expiring the soonest. So it pulls up my oldest listings. And most of those are on that old surface. So like tomorrow, 4 listings are expiring. So I pull those 4 items, I get them all photographed, and then I can put them back, and which has been good too, because now I'm reorganizing my inventory. I had a lot of sales in December. So I have like holes, and I can, so I'm sort of organizing my inventory while I'm doing this. And then I put all those new photos on the listing. So that's only 4 of them. And then tomorrow, and sometimes sometimes I'll do a couple of days if there's only like 1 or 2, but that's been making it manageable. So my goal is to get all of my inventory updated with the new photos. And then while I'm doing that, I'm also updating all of the information. So sometimes like the shipping, as we start to ship, for me, shipping has always been not an issue, but a learning experience. And so as I'm learning how much things cost, that has now changed. So I do go through the listings, make sure the shipping, make sure the tags are all right, make sure that, I just kind of basically do a run through of the listing, make sure that the dates are right, the categories right, the titles in there, and I found a couple of listings that had like 1 tag. So that's been good too. So I just make sure that all of the listings are like updated and fresh and have the new inventory. So that's my number 3 goal on how to achieve this. So that is I think that was number 3, right? Number 3. Number 4 was update listings, which I'm doing as well. And number 5 is kind of in this as well, is combined any listing. So I just took off a listing. So I just took off a parquet, salad utensils. So it was going to expire and renew automatically. Yes, I know it's only 20 cents, but 20 cents adds up. So I copied it so I would have all the information, like the measurements and stuff. And then I recently picked up a parquet salad bowl. So I'm going to combine them. I have to photograph them. So in the meantime, I made a copy of that listing so that I had all the information. I deleted that listing of the parquet servers because I'm going to combine it with the other parquet bowl. So that's something else as I'm going through these listings. I also took off my Christmas items. So all of my Christmas items they're going to be renewing, and I'm not renewing them for now. I packed away my Christmas stuff, the stuff that did not sell, the things I did not want to do. I wanted to sell all of my Christmas items. For the month of January, I put all of my Christmas stuff on 40% off, and I sold nothing, not one single Christmas item 40% off. So that doesn't work. So I don't know if you've had luck selling after Christmas, but it did not work for me. So I am packing it all away. I copied all of the listings, so they're all in my drafts folder, which I love, love, love. Thank goodness Etsy does that, allows those draft folders, because it is the best. Drafts for me is key. So I saved all of the listings in drafts, then I deleted them so they don't renew. And I'm packing them away. And then when, I don't know, September probably, I will then, do a Christmas drop. I definitely will do it early. This year I did October. It was too late. I definitely will do at least September. So I did delete all of that. And then that was my number 5, was Christmas. Number 6 was organize and update my inventory, which I'm kind of doing as I'm taking pictures. My shipping, all my boxes are in. I'll give you a picture here. All my boxes are in my garage. I update it and clean it up every week. And then by the end of the week, especially if I have a big shipping week, they're all over the place. So it's just going to be a constant thing. I made a nice space. I put this old purple rug that my daughter had that's all fuzzy, but it's kind of nice. It's this little cozy place out there. So I don't hate going out there, right? It's not the floor's not cold and everything's organized. It just gets messy because I'm searching for boxes. And then my last thought on sort of my shop, how I'm going to get to my main goal, right? Is when I'm thrifting, I read this that I need 70% of the things I thrift for my shop to be things that are going to sell, right? So resellers. So kind of like my wish list, like peg racks, glass tumblers, office decor, all of my top sellers, right? Pots and pans, boxes, like 70% of the stuff I thrift has to be those items that are sellers. Otherwise, I'm just collecting more and more stuff that isn't selling, and I don't want that. And my shop's only been open for 6 months, so my statistics, I don't have a whole lot of data to go off of, but I can just go off of what I know, and that's going to change as I sell other things. And so, but I need that to be, so when I'm thrifting, I just have to be super conscious and remember, oh, that's going to sell, or I had that and that did not sell, or that's took 6 months to sell. So I just have to be better about that. And then the other 30% can be things that I can take a chance on. And that 30% are the items like, oh, that's like, I picked up a couple of random items. Like I picked up an old level, like a 1950s level that sold right away. So now I'm looking at the tools, maybe tools sell. So I did pick up a couple of tools, and we'll see. So we'll see, like, is that something that's going to be now part of the 70%? But that's how I want to sort of structure. So when I'm thrifting, I'm a little more like aware. I've been trying to be better about margins. I'm trying not to pick up stuff that doesn't have a lot of margin. So that's my like shop goals. So here are my marketing goals. So I have, and the marketing goals are really so that I could build up my shop. That's my goal, is to build up my shop, build up my business, my Sunshine Vintage Vibes. Then my main marketing goal is to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So right now I'm at 476, and I have like a mini goal is 500. So I'm gonna celebrate when I get to 500, but 1,000 YouTube subscribers is my like 2026 goal. So how am I going to get to that goal? Because that goal then goes into my larger goal of my shop goals, my profit, getting people to shop. So how I'm going to do that is I need to start putting out videos twice a week. So right now I'm only doing once a week, and I need to do twice a week. I am not an editor. I use DaVinci Resolve, the free version. That's how I did it. I'm becoming versed in it. So I am trying to be better about not spending 2 days on a video all day long. It's too much time and I can't get the information out. And then that like lags too, right? That comes back to like, I need a week to get this, my inventory, all the stuff I picked up, I need a week. Clean it, photograph it, haul it on YouTube. And within that week, I also need to edit that video and get the video out. So I'm giving myself a week to do all of that, and marketing is part of that. So, and then the other video a week will be something like this, something fun, something different. Sometimes I'm going to put a Goodwill in there because I know Goodwill, people love to watch, Goodwill thrifting. So we'll see. Right now, I like this past month, I did an Elvis like birthday thrift, and then I'm doing this one, and then I'm also going to be doing a my birthday video, which was really fun. So two long form videos a week. My goal for the shorts is to get them to, well, hopefully subscribe, but really to get them to start watching the long form videos. That is the shorts 3 times a week, once a Goodwill. Instagram, TikTok, 5 times a week. I like Instagram. I put out Instagrams. I enjoy Instagram. I enjoy using Instagram. I find it really user friendly. I wouldn't even use TikTok, but my kids are like, you have to be on TikTok. So I was like kind of taking stuff from Instagram and putting it on TikTok. I'm trying not to do that anymore. Like I'm trying to use different music, because the TikTok user is different than the Instagram user. So try to use more like their trendy music and not have any of the like logos from Instagram on my TikTok. And then I'm also on Instagram. So 5 times a week, once a week has got to be a Goodwill thrifting video. I put out one on my birthday. So this is my biggest watch views on Instagram for my shop. I put out one for my birthday. So I put that on Instagram, and right now I think I have like 26,000 views. That's my highest I've ever gotten, was 26,000. So I was really excited about it. And all of my Goodwill like thrifting, everything, just gets a little bit more views. So my goal is 5 times a week on Instagram and TikTok, and my Instagram goes to my Facebook as well, because I want to start doing not a booth, but like a pop-up. So I've been debating a booth, but I don't want that overhead. I don't want however much it costs, $300-400 rent. I don't want to be stressed out. I do love the idea of a booth, of having a place to go once a week, taking a lot of inventory and like setting it all up. Like that sounds like so much fun. I love that. Like I love the whole idea of having a booth, except I don't want to have rent. I'm not ready to have that right now. So I would rather just do a pop-up. So like Long Beach is like 125 to 150 a space. And so I'm thinking about that. I have a couple of other ideas. So I would like to start doing like one pop-up a quarter. So that is my goal. So 2026 goals, marketing. I want to get, I've been trying to find myself a like thrifting sunshine vintage vibes hat. I of course I want it yellow. So I want to just get some merch for me. So like when I do a pop-up, I have a hat or I have a hoodie or something for me. And then my last sort of 2026 goal, and this is like not even really for my like shop or for my marketing or like the ultimate goal, it's really just for me, is I would absolutely love to start having like a thrifting get together with other resellers. So it would be so fun when I watch like Laura and all the girls, Andy and all the girls who get together and have these like outings and thrift. It just looks like so much fun. So if you are in Southern California and you want to get together and thrift, I would be so down for it. So I really would love to start a little like thrifting friend group. So that is my 2026 goals. That's it. Those are my like recap of 2025 sales, my 2026 goals for my shop, for my marketing, and of course myself. These are my wish list. So and these are things I want to find out in the wild. I can't wait for the end of the year. Well, on my 2026 for my shop, I've already found like 2 of those, but I just will see how many I can find, right, of these items. And then my own wish list, it'll be really fun at the end of the year if I find any of these. So maybe put in the comments what you think I will find first. And when I say find, I mean, it needs to be out in the wild. I'm not going to get on Facebook and buy it. I'm not going to get on eBay or Etsy and like find it. And I want to find it in the wild. I want to thrift it. It could be at an antique store, or an antique mall, but it needs to be found out in the wild. I hope you have an amazing 2026. Tell me your goals. Tell me how your 2025 was. I would love to hear what your plans are for 2026 and how you're going to achieve your goals in your shop. If you are not a reseller and you just like watching these videos, tell me which item you're like hoping to find. If you're a thrifter and you like to go out and thrift, or you have collectibles, what is your number one item or top items that you're looking for? If there is something that you are looking for and you want to find it, please comment. I would love, love, love that so much, to actually have like a mission to find something for someone. That would be so fun. So let me know. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I have a goal and I really need to achieve it. And I really appreciate you watching, subscribing, and sticking with me. And thanks so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.